Are you listening now?
I'm Bex. I am the founder and CEO of She's Electric, and also the founder and CEO of Still Curious. I have always been really passionate about trying to make change, particularly when it comes to sustainability and when it comes to the environment. When I was a kid, I started the Save the World Club from my garden shed when I was 8 years old. I used to have letters written to it, to the garden, Save the World Club at the garden shed, to try and raise money for WWF, which obviously is the conservation charity and not the World Wrestling Federation, and sponsor silences, all that kind of stuff as a kid. And I was very idealistic. And then I grew up, and then I went to university, and then I started working for people like luxury automotive manufacturers, London Fashion Week, all the wonderful, glamorous things. And I had a great time, and I flew around the world and did some amazing things. And then I probably found it harder to sleep than I should, because that little girl who was in her garden shed years and years ago started resurfacing. The little girl who used to wake her mum up in the middle of the night and go, "Mum, mum, there's a hole in the ozone layer." And she'd be like, "Bex, just go back to sleep." So that person came back in quite a big way, probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. Launched Still Curious, working with lots of purpose-driven organizations, trying to make change in places like energy, future of mobility, all those types of things. And within that, and the amazing people that I met through that, the idea of She's Electric came about. And She's Electric is obviously about helping women to understand more about that switch to electric and make a change that's going to impact them and their families and the planet in general. I've not really faced any challenges in terms of stepping away from that luxury side of things. I feel incredibly grateful for the experiences that I have, and that actually just sees me through. I think that I've become a mother quite late in life, and I think having had all those crazy experiences beforehand, that kind of gives me a bit more contentment and ability to sort of not live my life regretting things I'm not able to do, because I'm taking risks and chances and challenges when it comes to setting up new businesses or trying to do big things, often with not quite as much cash as we would need to do those big things, but trying to persuade all those people to come on a journey with us. I'm pretty resilient. My little boy was born at £2. I started Still Curious in the neonatal unit at St Mary's Hospital in Paddington. I was a single mum, and with no maternity leave, so it was a bit of a case of necessity, being the mother of all invention, and that's how Still Curious came about. And I was very lucky to have the people that I worked with that supported me through that time, all women as it happened. And my business partner at the time took on a huge role of not only trying to nurture a business, but nurture a new mum and a very poorly baby. And together we made it work, and our business thrived, my baby thrived, and we've sort of not looked back. What keeps me unstoppable are some of the incredible young women that I have been lucky enough to mentor or to work with over the years. There's a level of frustration when you see things not changing. I'm coming into my mid-40s, and there are still challenges that these 20-year-olds face now that I was facing, and that is a huge frustration. But equally, there's a level of excitement because you're seeing things actually changing, and that sort of drives you on, and that kind of keeps you going. And we have people that work for us at She's Electric who are just fantastic young women. I mean, I think if I was to nominate someone who I think is unstoppable, it would probably be Molly, who is the youngest member of our team, and is just the most well-rounded, phenomenal human who teaches us more than I'm pretty sure we could ever teach her. And I think that I get very frustrated when people give the youth of today a bad rap. I think we've got a huge amount to learn from them, and I'm glad that I get to do that from Molly pretty much every day. The thing that I think is already or has the potential to be unstoppable is that the consumer power that women have when it comes to the adoption of all these new amazing technologies. We get really, really excited about all the things that we innovate in this country, and then we go, great, we've made it, let's just leave it there. And what I'm very passionate about is actually creating that level of adoption. If just by speaking in the right way or communicating in the right way, we can actually bring whole new audiences to some amazing things that are happening right now. And as such, that can be unstoppable, and there's every potential for that to be unstoppable. It's pretty incredible when you see women leaving She's Electric, having had an amazing time. We've done some great filming where we've popped some cameras into these cars and watched 2 or 3 friends go out in a car and just have a really good time, like laughing, joking, taking the mickey out of each other, working out what a boost button does, screaming. I think that, you give us a bit of space, give us the chance to really explore and have a bit of fun, and we'll discover all these things. It's been amazing watching people leave and having messages afterwards, or people sort of saying to us, like, I know enough now. I know a bit more than I did before. I can make the changes that I want to make. I feel empowered to do that, and that's pretty awesome. I think that little girl would be probably a little bit shocked at what she's done. She was on a farm in the wilds of Worcestershire, and now, sort of 40 years later, she's doing all these weird and wonderful things with technologies that didn't even exist at the time. It's about just giving people an example to follow, and not feeling hemmed in by any circumstances. And that's what She's Electric's about. It's about empowering, the consumer, but even more so for me, empowering just the people that we meet every day, and the youngsters we meet every day, telling them that, change is possible. We've got to get a bit more hope back out there, and that's what we're here to do. Just try and let that generation live in hope. That's a big goal. So for us, getting the message of She's Electric out there is our priority now. We've got loads more events to do this year. We are building this community of women who are switched on and who want to know more. It's not about patronising anybody, and it's not about assuming that women can't consume information of a certain level. This is all about just telling the stories that women want to hear and the places that they want to hear it, and actually acknowledging that we might have different purchase journeys, different ways of going about things, listening to our friends and our families, as opposed to perhaps reading automotive magazines and that type of thing. If I was to nominate someone who is truly unstoppable, I would nominate my co-founder, Gemma Huddleston, who has been in this industry for an incredibly long time and has found her voice and found her power and created something. And she's the heart of all of this. She's created something absolutely spectacular, and we've loved supporting her to really use all those years of experience to do something that's going to make absolutely massive change. She'd be who I'd nominate.
Are you listening now?